All right, the first method you learned on solving a quadratic is you graphed it, and you saw where it crossed the x-axis. This only works if you have integers and no fractions. Because if it's between 4 and 5, you have no idea what number it is. You can't guess. All right? Then you learned how to factor it and get where it crosses the x-axis. Then you learned square rooting it, and that's only when there's no x. It's when b is 0. And then you learned, or you didn't learn, something called completing the square. You will learn that in Algebra 2 if you take it. It's not a standard, so we skipped it. So be glad, that's a fifth method. And today's method is to use the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula always works. If you can't factor it, you go straight to the quadratic formula. All right, so let's take one. 2x squared plus 3x minus 5 equals 0. All right, we have a parabola that points upwards. How do I know it points upwards?
Positive.
Because this is positive. We're trying to find where it crosses the x-axis. That's all this is. By the way, nobody had a question about the story problem? Because there's one on your test.
Now you asked about it.
What did you ask?
You said how to do it.
Number 1?
Oh, no, not number 1.
Oh.
I got it.
Okay. All right. So the first thing you should do is, now the standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. So identify your a, your b, and your c. So a is 2, b is 3, and c is -5. All right. We're going to try to find x, where it crosses the x-axis. Okay? It's the opposite of b, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Your biggest issue is going to be a calculator. I suggest, if you can do 3 times 3 in your head, that you don't try to punch it in. Because that's where you're going to mess up. Now, I will give you partial credit on the test, on the quadratic formula one, if you just put in the right numbers. So you don't want to skip any steps here. You want to put the opposite of b, which would be -3, plus or minus the square root. Okay, b should always be in parentheses. Now, it doesn't matter if it's positive, but if it's negative, it'll give you the wrong answer if you don't have it in parentheses. Because negative times negative is positive. Without parentheses, it's negative. Okay? All right, plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a, 2 times c, -5, all over 2 times 2. If you just get that part right, you'll get partial credit. Probably half. That means you understand how to use the quadratic formula. Now, this part right here is called the discriminant. The discriminant could tell you right away how many solutions you're going to have. If you have the square root of a negative here, what do you think is going to happen? There's not going to be a solution. As soon as you get a negative in here, you can stop. That means it does not cross the x-axis. If this is a 0, how many solutions do you think you're going to have? 1, because -3 plus 0 and -3 minus 0 is the same thing. Now, if you get a positive number here, there's 2 solutions. And this one's going to give us 2 solutions. All right, so x equals, I think if you are planning on using a calculator, you should try to get this right now and see what you get on the inside. Just try it if you plan on using one. I never use one because these numbers aren't that big. What do you get? All over 4.
Mr. Irvin, what button is it to put it like inside?
Do you have your calculator?
Yeah.
You want mine?
49.
There's a second function square root button.
Oh yeah, the second.
Yeah. Find it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's 49, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. If you have a minus and a negative here, that's plus. Because it's 9 minus, those of you that don't want to use a calculator, it's 9 minus negative 40, which is 49.
Do you hit the second button before or after you type in all that, Shalom?
First.
Wait,
Well, you can't type this in because it's plus or minus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only do this part. All right, so then we'll take it. Is this going to be on the board?
Yeah.
Am I still in?
Yeah.
All right, so x equals negative 3 plus the square root of 49 over 4, and x equals negative 3 minus the square root of 49 over 4. So we have two possible answers, yes.
I have a question. When you have it like the 3 squared minus 4, 2, yeah, that part. Is the negative not attached to the 4? Or does it
Yeah, you can think of it as 9, and then negative times negative is positive. Plus,
But then how do you
plus
get the
40.
negative? Oh, okay.
Either way, it could be minus that, or just think of it as one multiplication problem. Negative times negative. Positive 40 plus 40.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where'd you get the minus?
where?
X equals negative 3 minus square root.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's plus or minus in the formula. Okay, so we have two answers. We have negative 3 plus 7 over 4, and we have negative 3 minus 7 over 4.
Okay.
There's the plus and minus.
Okay.
You do two, remember how we did two separate things from absolute value? Same concept. All right, so that's 4 over 4, so x is either 1, or this is negative 10 over 4, x equals negative 2.5. What that means is you have a parabola that crosses at negative 2.5 and 1. Okay? That's the quadratic formula.
Are we graphing on the homework?
No, you're not graphing on the homework. You're using the quadratic formula to solve. Okay, I'm going to do another one for you, show you one that's really ugly. Because you don't get a perfect square. I want to show you what to do about it. All right, let's say we have 0 equals 2x squared minus 4x minus 21. All right, x equals the opposite of b, 4, plus or minus the square root of negative 4 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 21, all over 2 times 2. Okay? Half credit just to get those numbers right. X equals 4 plus or minus, see if you can figure that one out. It's not a perfect square. Practice on your calculator or do it in your head, I don't care. Who can give me that number right in here? And it's all over 4. Yeah, what'd you get?
184.
It is 184. Make sure you can get 184. Did you?
Me? No, I haven't. No.
Okay. It's 184. Now, if it told you in simplest radical form, that would be harder in my opinion, because you'd have to know that 4 goes into that. 4 goes into 184 46 times. So really, 184 can be written as radical 4, radical 46. Remember doing this in the fall? 2 radical 46. So you would have, if I told you not to round to the nearest hundredth, and you were told, in Algebra 2 you will be told both ways, you would have 4 plus 2 radical 46 over 4, and you have 4 minus 2 radical 46 over 4. That's in simplest radical form. I think on your homework, I'm 90% sure, I told you to round to the nearest hundredth. So make sure you can get the square root of that to the nearest hundredth right now. You have a square root button, and you should get 4 plus 13.56 over 4, and 4 minus 13.56 over 4. What are the two answers? I just want to make sure you know how to use your calculators. If you put in 4 plus 13.56 over 4, your calculator does not know you have a fraction. It will do the division first and then add 4. You don't want that. You want this in parentheses, or add, write it down, and then divide by 4. What do you get here?
4.39.
4.39. And on the other one?
Negative.
Negative 2.39. That is where it crosses the x-axis. See, this is one where you couldn't have factored. The only way to get the answer is the quadratic formula. Or completing the square, which you don't know how to do. That also always works. But don't have to worry about it. Okay, I want to give you one all by yourself. And see if you can take it from the beginning to the end. And find the solution. The solution is 2 integers. Okay? It comes out, no fraction. Alright, try this one. 2x equals x squared minus 3. First, you're going to have to put it in standard form. Then replace the numbers in the quadratic formula. See if you can get the 2 answers. Now, how are you going to get this in standard form?
You gotta
Subtract 2x. Okay? I'll talk to you after class. I'm glad he's back.
Shut up. What?
Waiting.
Oh.
If you're at home, you should be trying this. I'm going to go ahead and
Shut up. I need to stop saying
okay, use the quadratic formula.
that. Damn it. My fault.
Oh, come on now, Jay.
Sorry.
Do I have to put these rated PG-13?
You need to get an editor so you can, like, bleep it out.
I'm sorry.
It wasn't me this time.
It's only in this class, too.
PG-13.
Feels good not
boy.
to be me.
So you gonna behave today?
Yeah. I wasn't even talking.
Blake said you were bad too, so don't even go there.
Not at all.
Was she bad?
I didn't even talk.
Are you asking me?
No. Who was in 6th period? Nigel, was she bad?
I don't pay attention to her.
Nathan was in there too.
You only pay attention to shit.
What?
Was she bad?
So who?
Couldn't stop
I'm
talking.
not in the 6th
Huh?
No,
Couldn't stop talking.
I did not
Oh.
talk at all.
That's what both teachers
Ask-
told me.
No, ask
Okay, you know what?
everyone.
I'm really sorry.
I just asked
I'm
the
really
kid that
sorry.
is honest.
That kid wasn't even in there. I didn't think so. But
He was in there and he's honest.
Only time I
No,
remember her
ask
talking is when she was like,
Yeah,
go
when
to
I was
the
I
talking.
gave you a 0 for every day it was complaining about you.
She was like, I
Why
wanna
are
go
you
to the
hurting her
dean's
grade
office.
like that?
yeah, I know.
That's the only time I remember her talking.
Yeah, I only talked when I was leaving. I
She was
Are you
like,
done?
bye.
take me to the
See
dean.
ya. Yeah, I told you to take me to the dean.
How do you find, like, I don't know where the square root button is on my calculator.
Bruh. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right there.
Yeah, but when I click it, it says answer x squared.
Press second.
Oh, then you hit second.
No, you hit second first.
Yeah. You just like-
Second and then this.
Yeah, you hit second and then it puts it inside the square root.
No.
Miss Donna, do I put -2
Can you solve this,
or
please?
just +2?
What?
For b squared, do I put negative 2 squared?
Press second.
Second.
Yeah.
Oh
In
my.
parentheses.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Can you do this,
I got
please?
a negative 0.2
Okay, this isn't good.
Yep, you right. It's not.
What'd you get?
I got 6.
Why can't you put the numbers in for this formula? Come on.
Mr. Order, my second button doesn't work.
His second button won't.
Don't
I
worry.
think he needs a calculator.
Bummer.
Dang. Dang.
Dang.
Dang.
I'm sorry. It's not a curse in New York.
It's not a curse in New York.
Curse. It's really not. The H word is not curse there either. It's really not. I can say it in
Brooklyn
the
got
hallway,
you.
won't get in trouble.
Brooklyn got you all messed up.
I do.
All messed up.
In Riverside, that's
Alright, so
all I
should-
yelled in the hallway,
so should I
and I
tell your
never got in
mom?
trouble. My mama
I mean,
wouldn't
your daddy.
care. My daddy wouldn't care. My daddy
She'll go
would
there.
not care.
You must really not be a cuss in Brooklyn.
Morgan, what'd you get?
I got x equals 3 and x equals -1.
Well, I'm wrong.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm lost.
Me too.
Why? The opposite of B is what?
2.
2.
2. Plus or minus
16.
negative 2 squared. Right? B squared
I got all of that.
minus 4 times 1 times negative 3.
Okay, I got this part.
All over 2 times 1.
And then it's 2 plus or minus.
Okay, wait.
Okay, right on.
2 plus or minus the square root of what?
16. 16.
16.
16
Over 2.
Yeah.
over 2, which is 2 plus or minus 4
Over 2.
over 2.
Oh, I got it.
All right,
How you get 2? I mean 16.
Because negative 2. What do you mean?
16, 4 plus 12.
Wait, what did you do?
4
Oh.
plus 12. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12.
Smart one.
Why? Why didn't you do that?
Whatever that is
Oh.
minus.
Order of operations. You gotta multiply that, you gotta multiply that. Calculators are what kills you on this test.
Huh.
That's in my pen.
I swear you
I
said
don't
that.
really know why a freshman in high school would need to use a calculator here.
I just realized like that's wrong.
Yeah, we get the
All right,
opportunity,
so-
so why not take it?
2, because it's making wrong answers. 2 plus 4 over 2, 2 minus 4 over 2.
Oh.
6 over 2 is 3. Negative 2 over 2, negative 1. Okay?
Got it.
There's the quadratic formula. It gives you the answer every time. If you have time on your test, and maybe you get stuck on one with factoring or something, you can use the quadratic formula to find the answer.
It's always tough to show work for fact.
Yes, you're going to have to show work. You'll get partial credit for the correct work, partial credit for the correct answer.
Sweet.
It takes forever to grade
How
these.
many questions are there?
There's not very many questions because they take so long.
Ah.
Don't you need that for your math class? Why you erased it?
What? I want you to do one more.
Oh.
I'm getting
Mr.
First of all, if I said to you, use the discriminant to tell me how many solutions, what would you do? That's the first 4 questions on your homework.
Okay, you said if it has a 0, then it's. Wait. Hold on.
That's what you figure out to tell you how many solutions.
Oh, it's
So
gonna
b squared is 81.
It's gonna be 2 solutions.
How?
Because
Yeah,
there's
how
already
you
a
know?
negative in there.
Because 81 minus 4 times 1 times 20 is 81 minus 80, which is 1. Positive number,
Oh.
2 solutions. Okay, find the 2 solutions. Use the quadratic formula.
Okay, I'm starting off strong. You got that part.
Come on, Nigel, you gotta try at least one and get it right.
You
All you're doing is subbing numbers in. It's not rocket science.
See this, Mr. Wilson?
wanna do it on the board for us?
No.
I'll do it on the board. Low key.
No, he's not even trying.
Now
What are
I
you
think it's
talking
better.
I don't know what you're talking
It's always a good idea to identify A, B, and C. What's A?
It's 2.
A is 1.
B?
9. Negative. Positive 9. 9. Shut up.
Negative 9. 20.
I said I'm
Alright,
sorry.
I'm getting this one right, mister.
I hope so.
I forgot to put the square button every time I did it, so that's what threw me off.
No, I know the square. I found it the square root.
Hmm?
I found the square root.
Dang.
Ew.
You wrong for that.
Shut up.
What happened?
You say
Miss
how
Stoner,
you
can
doing?
I get the homework?
Did you walk in and say how you doing?
I'm
Can
not
I
just
say how you
fucking-
doing?
Can
Is
we
that
stop-
bad?
Miss
I thought it
Stoner,
was polite.
Miss, can we stop the
Manners.
video?
Hey, we're on video. Shh.
I'm gonna get the homework.
Want to get in this video?
Well, 9J looks like you're gonna get out of another one. Okay,
Got it.
what do I put here?
9.
9 plus or minus the square root,
Negative 9.
negative 9 in parentheses squared,
Minus 4
4,
times 1
1,
times 20.
20. All over,
2 times 1.
okay. 9 plus or minus the square root of what?
1.
1.
2.
So it's 9 plus 1 over 2, 9 minus 1 over 2. 5 and 4.
How did you get more?
That's what I got.
I got 1,600.
81 minus 80. You've got to figure out what your problem is with this discriminant here. Go ahead and turn that off then.